to, oh, shoot. Now I can't remember the name of it. I hate that one. Have brain farts on a Monday. Boondocks. You ever been there? The one over there on West Bay?
I hadn't been there in a long time. Was it good?
It was real good. Real good. And, of course, you know as well as I do, it's real good when you don't have to pay for it.
That's the best.
It's Mother's Day, so I didn't have to pay for it.
All right. Tell me a story. You guys, it was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
We got to tell one story about a mother. It can be athletics. It can be something she's done, something that stood out in your life. It's kind of trying to gear it towards athletics if you can. I mean, I know your years of bodybuilding. She supported you there, your boxing career. So how was your mom? Was your mom into sports?
No, she wasn't into sports. She was a pretty cool mom. She encouraged me. I wrestled, but I took martial arts, and she really supported me for that. And so I was testing for my very first belt, my gold belt, Taekwondo. I was testing, and I was pretty good, you know, because I'm a little guy, so I try harder. And so what I did...
Got to get by the mic.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they teach you that, don't they, in broadcast school, which I never went to. But anyway, so I'm testing for my gold belt, and she decides she's going to come down. She never came down and watched me work out because she hated watching me get punched and kicked and stuff like that. But she came down to support me when I tested for my first belt. And so, you know, going through all of the little motions and everything like that, and you know, you have to learn some terminology, and you have to do your basic 5-step, 3 steps and stuff like that. So I do all that real good. Well, it comes time to free fight, where you get a guy from another school. They had like 3 schools down there all testing at the same time. They bring a master in Taekwondo down there, so there's a big lot of hoopla about it. So, you know, they call my name, and I walk up there, and they call this kid from another school, and he comes up there. So we square off with each other, right? And I'm concentrating, and we walk up to each other, and we do our little bow, our cognac, as they say. We do our little bow, and I look up, and I look at the guy face to face to let him know I'm serious. And I look at him, and I know my mom's here, and I'm going to do good. And I'm all pumped up because first time my mom came down there. And I look at the guy, and he's got one eye looking right straight towards me and one eye looking off to the right. And I looked at that, and I thought, what the heck? And about that time, boom, he pops me in the jaw with his left foot, and I go down on the ground. And I get back up, and I'm mad now because he's embarrassed me in front of my mom. So I start just, you know, Hale and, you know, just swinging and kicking and going crazy. And, of course, they stop the fight, and they say, you know, anger is the wind that blows out the candle of the mind, Mr. Smitty. Now, you need to go over there and sit down and cool off. And I was so embarrassed. But my mom made me feel so good. We went out afterwards, and you know, we had a little pizza afterwards. And she said, what happened? And I told her, I said, the guy's eyeball was looking at me, and the other eyeball was looking somewhere else. And she said, well, you got to be ready for stuff like that.
Yeah, you should have known that.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, how do you get ready for something like that?
I blame that on your coach. You should be prepared for that.
Yeah, I should have prepared. I was prepared for everything but that.
Wow.
That's my little story. That's and she. I mean,
now, where did your mother? Where did she grow up? Up in Kentucky?
Yeah, in Kentucky. Born and bred.
Good old country people.
Yeah, but at that time we had like everybody else, there were no jobs in Kentucky, so everybody migrated to either Detroit or Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So we were living up in Cincinnati at the time that all that happened.
All right.
She was a good mom.
Dr. Mitchell, tell us one story about your mom. Did she demand you be on time to your radio station? Chad just texted me, got caught in traffic. They're doing something to the bridge. He's almost here. So
if he has to come across the Hathaway Bridge, they have 23 going down into one lane to get on the Hathaway Bridge from 23. And they did it. They put the cones right there in the curve. So you're into that kind of a blind curve as you come up onto the bridge. And that's where they started setting up the cones. So not only are you going around that blind curve, let's call it, but they have cones there, so you're being squeezed into one lane. And then, of course, you have to merge with all the traffic that's already on the bridge. So, beware, absolutely.
Well, he's got that big old truck. He could just run over people, get around them, you know.
And that's probably what he's doing. I'm sure he's taking out a few cones.
Is there anything going from west to east? Is any construction that way? It's just coming on this way?
I don't think so.
Well, that's a good time to do it, right before summer gets here, I guess.
Yeah. Right during, when the schools are letting out and everybody's going to the beaches because it's 90 degrees outside, so you got to go to the beach.
All right. Well, Mother's Day. I got to talk about my mother.
Okay.
Love sports, wanted us to be involved in sports. But growing up, my brother was older, played baseball. We go to the baseball games. I learned that my mother could yell pretty loud. She was very vocal, very emotional. And my brother do something great, she'd go nuts. He'd do something bad, she'd just kind of get quiet. And then it was my turn when I started playing. It's the same thing, but I played football. And same thing. She was the loudest person in the state. You could hear her voice over everybody else. The only person I've heard near her is Daniel Bush played for me, Wesley Bush played for me, Dennis Bush's wife. She had, like my mother, one of the loudest voices. You could hear Miss Bush over the entire band, both bands, both student section, both.
I'm sure
you knew exactly who she was yelling for Daniel. And it was like my mother, the same way. You could hear it over everyone. But she loved it, buddy, and she got into it. She loved sports. She was Air Force. The only thing she didn't go to that I can remember, we boxed, and the same thing on Maxwell Air Force Base. They had that karate, so my brother went and did all that stuff. We went down there. I don't remember her being around that. She didn't like to watch that.
Yeah.
Because I think she'd have got out there and fought for us if she had to. I really do. She was that way.
Oh, my mom did a couple times.
Yeah. But anyway, miss your mom. Anyway, when Julie, we didn't really do anything. Jamie was down. You talking about a weekend that was crazy? This is what we had. I told you we went to Lorelei's little graduation.
Yeah, that was on Friday or Sunday?
Yeah, Thursday, I think.
Oh, okay.
And then Friday, we had the dance recital. Layton had one. Two went to that. Got in late. Got up early, went to the soccer game, and they won. They played really well. She did a great job. Jerry's team won. Then right after that, we had to go get ready to go into another dance recital where Lorelei and Layton both performed all day, all night, and it was crazy. You're talking about busy. Yeah. Jamie was down. She came down for that and Mother's Day. Got up early on Sunday because Jamie had to go back to Birmingham. And
how is Jamie, by the way?
Huh?
How is she, by the way?
She's doing good. She's doing good, knock on wood.
Yeah.
She's doing good.
I know she was struggling back there some time ago.
She's still, I think she's feeling better, but she's got a ways to go, but she's getting there. She's doing good, which is a good thing. All right, let's get into this. I'm heartbroken. You know what? I might wait until the next.
Did you do your homework over the weekend, and you got some good stuff for us?
No, not really.
We're going to call.
It was Mother's Day. I was lazy. I was tired. I don't have anything for you today.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it's hot in here. I think we're going to go. Thank you for turning in this morning. Mitchell's not here. I don't feel like talking. I'm going home.
We're going to the beach. It's Monday. Nothing's working right. The door's locked.
Can you believe? Now listen, I think Friday week school's out here in Bay County. I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Can you believe it's gone by that quickly?
It has gone by quickly.
That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You know, you were talking about we were talking about our mothers and everything. Yeah, have you noticed that when these players? I tell you what, I watched that movie about the Air Jordan shoes.
That was excellent. I watched that.
That was a really good movie with what's his face.
You talking about the mother?
Matt Damon.
What a mother Michael Jordan had.
But isn't that like across the board? You see these guys, signing papers to go to college or go to the NBA or go to the NFL. And, sometimes, dad's always sitting there somewhere.
Not always.
Not always.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest with you.
But mom.
Over half are no dad's there. It's the mother.
It's always... all the praise goes to mom because mom ruled with a big stick,
Mom raised them. Mom clothed them, fed them, took care of them. I knew so many players didn't have fathers. It was sad. It was really sad.
And the ones that did, Dad was working. He was working. He was tired. He wanted to come home, put his feet up, have a beer, shut up, and leave me alone. Yeah,
it's that could be a whole show on that. But that movie was great. If you haven't what was it called? Air? I think it was called Air.
Yeah.
About Air Jordan. He was the first one to ever get a piece of the pie. Nike was
Set the
having a hard
precedent.
time
Yeah,
finding a great
precedent.
athlete. They thought about getting 3 or 4 players like Adidas had, Converse had. But no, they said, let's put everything we've got in this kid. I've got the guy's name, the guy that was sold on Jordan. He goes, there's something about this guy, man. I've watched his tapes on him. There's something about this guy. Let's put everything we got. We got to get him. We got to get him. This was before Nike
They
was
fought
huge.
him all the way, too.
Yeah, and they finally, he went behind their back, went and met with the mother, which the agent went crazy. Everybody goes completely mad at. You don't do those things. He did it. She liked him. They came out there to see him, and they thought they were going to get him. You know, he didn't. Michael.
He laid that speech
act like
down.
he
I
was too
cried.
thrilled.
At the,
yeah, that was
at
a great
the table,
speech
at the
he gave.
negotiating table.
Yeah.
That was a tearjerker right there.
That was great.
It came from the heart.
He goes back. He think we didn't get him, and they're like, I'm going to lose my job. All these people are going to lose their jobs. And then all of a sudden she calls. He goes, hey, we're going to go with you, but. And we're going to get a piece.
That was a big
we're going to get a piece
too.
of his name's on the shoe. We're going to get a piece of that. And they go, we can't do that. No company ever has done that. We won't do it. So he's like telling her it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He goes back to his boss and says, we lost him. We didn't get him. What? Yeah, it's going to go to Adidas. And he said, we just.
All because of this one thing
he
she
wanted a little piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, no, we're not going to lose, and give it to him. And he did. Did you see how much? He made $162 million off the sales of those shoes. And that he only
some
got.
of them are collector's
What was
items.
like 1 or 2? He got a small percentage. Nike
was
became
2%.
filthy rich off of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Those shoes.
They ended up buying Converse.
Yeah.
So
he did get his red Mercedes convertible,
250, 350 SL.
He got that.
Yeah,
in.
that was.
If you hadn't seen the movie, it's really good. It's called Air Mitchell.
I wish it was called Air Mitchell.
Now, that was Michael Jordan's mother taking care of him. She thought about that, and his name's on it. This is where it's going to be. You're going to do it. And she wouldn't get. She changed her mind.
she
and they
did not.
It.
She did
What a
not
great
bend or
mother.
fold.
She was behind everything. I mean, she was absolutely incredible. Chad, we were talking about. I know you listened this morning coming in. We were talking about mothers. How much time we got?
Oh, we got to take a commercial break.
All right. You know what? We're gonna let you talk.
You
about
just cut me off, huh?
We're going to let you talk about your mother.
I see.
What great mother you had. I had a great mother. I did have a great mother.
I did too.
All right, let's talk about this. Well, if we don't get our next caller, we'll ask you a question when we get back. Traffic bad?
That bridge, man, they got lanes cut
he was
off. I
telling
had
me.
no idea.
That's what he told me. Chad, what's the best way to get a you? And again, you've been taking care of athletes now for going on 24 years, but you don't have to be a special athlete to get up to see Chad Mitchell. You can be John. Anybody, just somebody like that, some little guy.
Oh gosh,
Some poor guy, some poor little
This
kid.
is don't
make no money.
This is a wildcat. No. But anyway, what's the best way to get up to you?
I call Ortho Associates or Orthopedic Associates at 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com. You can also look up robotic knee replacements, which I'm doing on robotmd.com. Again, that's robotmd.com.
That is the future. I'm telling you, that's the future coming. And Chad's on top of it already. I tell you what, if you want a great meal today, get out to J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood, coldest beer you can get anywhere. J. Michael's Restaurant, Panama City Beach. South Oak, Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. For all your real estate needs, when you go to closing, you demand South Oak Title and Closing. I'm telling you, the great ones do. Mark Cowett, Beth Mobley, they all say you need to go with South Oak Title and Closing. And the reason they tell you that, they're the best at what they do. Chuck Tucker is the best at what he does. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning. We don't care how hot it is outside or how cold, because we have Stevenson Air Conditioning. If yours breaks down during the middle of the night on the weekends, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be there for you. We'll be right back. Chad Mitchell, Wildcat, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is already your home for the most live and local sports talk. And now we're taking
Oh, he got all of that one.
the Inside Drive. Ryan Mulvey, middays, 11 to 1 inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. The latest reactions to the biggest stories happening right now. Plus, interviews, sports betting, and your calls
You got to be pleased with that.
on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a high near 84 and a wind between 8 to 12 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 74. About the same tomorrow, around 82 with some sun most of the day aside from possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
The number one SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Love it, baby. Love it. That reminds me of Auburn Tigers. They go completely crazy at Jordan here when that thing cranks up. If you've never been, you need to go to a game. Before you pass away, get to a game at Auburn, especially a big SEC game.
Put it on your bucket list, huh?
Yeah, it's one of the wildest stadiums in the country. That's one of the loudest stadiums in the country. We got Chad Mitchell, legendary doctor here, taking care of athletes for, 24 years. You know, there was talk that they had a vision, what they wanted at a baseball program. We want to get out and hire somebody who can take us to where we can win some championships. We can get to a playoffs. We can win a county championship. We can do things that have never been done. So where'd they go? They look west. They look out to the west. And they go to California and get a coach. They bring him in here, and he's done everything he was hired to do. He's done an incredible job. His name, Coach Jones. Do we have him on the phone this morning? Coach Jones, how are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How you guys?
That's a pretty good introduction, wasn't it?
That was really good. Again, checks in the mail.
Hey, you know what, man? Great job you have done. Sad that it's over for the year, but you guys played really well this year. From game one to the end of the season, I know you guys improved. Now, after we get through talking about what happened this past week, we're going to focus on getting you what you need at Arnold High School when these kids have an opportunity to have success. Before we get into that, talk about the game. I know you had to travel. Give everybody a little rundown on how you handled that. When did y'all leave? Where'd you have a pregame meal leading up to the game? That's a long way to go play a baseball game. Give us a little breakdown how you handle that.
Well, it is. Well, we played 2 games last week, so if you don't mind, we started on Tuesday and beat West Florida 4-0, and that got us into the Sweet 16. And then we had to go to Baker County on Friday. Left about 10:30, stopped about, a little more than halfway. Got there early because it's Eastern time, so we probably got there about 4:30 Eastern time. And sort of jogged around, stretched a little bit, and tried to get the bus legs out of us. But it's a long trip, 4 hours or so each way, and we did the best we could to get ourselves in a position to play the best we could. Nice charter bus, and sort of relax, watch a movie or two, and tried to get ready for it. But it was a long day for sure. We didn't get back till probably about 1:30 in the morning. So it certainly made it a long day for us. But it was a little bit longer because of the way it turned out, unfortunately. But proud of the way we played, and it was a heck of a game. I mean, if you bought tickets to watch the Arnold baseball game this year, most times you got your money for it. They were pretty exciting games. one way or another, and that's when we ended up dropping at the end. We were ahead 2-0 after 5, really, but we ended up going into the bottom of the 6th ahead 2-0, and they scratched across some ugly hits, and then they hit a double, to with the bases loaded to clear the bases to score 3 runs on one swing, and that was the backbreaker. And so Baker County beat us 3-2. Kid on the mound for them threw a great game, really competitive. Just made great pitches when he needed to, and then after they got that lead, there was no way he was giving up anything in the 7th. He was just that bulldog on the mound. So you got to really tip your hats to Baker County. It's unfortunate that's twice in 3 years now that Baker County has been our demise, but they do that because they are super solid and they take advantage of the 1 or 2 opportunities they get to score. And we did the same. I mean, we only had about 1 opportunity to score. We scored 2 runs in the 5th. Even scored on a pop-up to the second baseman. Josh Lindsay, pretty fast kid, was a base runner at 3rd, and so the second baseman went back in the grass a little bit, and we decided to take a shot at it because it was one of those games where you just didn't know if you were ever going to score again. So we were really aggressive. We got a 2-0 lead and felt, as good as you can feel going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and just didn't work out for us. But a great game, and again, anybody who was there saw one heck of a high school baseball game. It was exciting, and there was good plays back and forth. It was just well done. Unfortunately, we came up short.
Yeah, Baker County, they get into sports big time, especially baseball. Not a whole lot to do, and they get into it. The whole town's behind them. Who pitched for you? How many pitchers you go through in that game?
Well, going into the playoffs, our plan was to throw Ethan Gill about half the game and Cooper Moss about half the game. We had to worry about pitch counts, but we were trying to keep them both eligible to pitch in each one of our games going up to Fort Myers if we were able to get there. So Ethan Gill threw, and we basically had a limit of about 60 pitches. On Friday, we could have gone a little bit higher, but Ethan Gill threw 58 pitches through 5 innings, shutout innings, and put us in a great position. Cooper Moss came in. Like I said, they kind of scratched a couple of base hits. They got an infield single that wasn't hit well enough for anybody to get to quickly enough to throw him out at first, and then they got a bunt base hit there. So it was a combination of little things here and there, but they both got a Canadian there. They both threw great for us all year. We wanted to have them on the mound as much as we could in the playoffs, and they did a great job for us in the playoffs. So it was both Ethan Gill and Cooper Moss. But Ethan was great through 5 innings and 58 pitches, shutout innings, and put us in a position where we had a chance.
Did you have a pretty good crowd for the Arnold Marlins? With that being far away, did many of the parents get to go?
Yeah, there was quite a few Arnold parents made that drive, and there was, like you said, Baker County. I don't know how big the town is there that they reside in, but I think most of them were there in the stands. It was a well attended game. It was good that everybody got to see a high quality game. I thought both teams played their hearts out, and about 3 feet short, that ball gets caught, and we win the game 2-0. But they got the hit they needed at the time they needed, and so it's just one of those where one play literally changed the season, and they made the play. So hats off to them.
Yeah, I hate it for you. Man, y'all had a great year. And the thing about it, the future's bright. How many seniors are you going to lose off this team?
There were 5 seniors. We also, I think I said before, we were starting 5 sophomores in the lineup. So certainly we were going to miss some seniors. But certainly Ethan Gill has been amazing for the last 2 years at least, just on fire as a pitcher. Braden Black's been a 3-year starter for us at shortstop. Cole Savage, 2-year starter, basically literally every day as a catcher for us. And then Bryce Singletary and Peyton Tompkins helped us out in the outfield. But certainly some big losses for us. But having 5 sophomores returning is not the worst fate you could have after having a pretty good season. So
yeah, no doubt.
Future is still bright. We were hoping to. You're always hoping to win the next game and win the last game. But let's be honest, in the last 3 years, we've gone to the Sweet 16 in the playoffs 3 years in a row. There's only 4 teams in the state that have done that in Class 4A, and Arnold High School is one of them. And after 20 years being in the playoffs only one time and no playoff wins, the last 3 years we've been to the playoffs every time with one playoff win and appearance in the Sweet 16. So, you know, it makes you feel a lot of pride in what's happened. It was tough 24, 48 hours after the game Friday night. But when you look back and you look at the fact that we had 5 sophomores starting all year, the things that we accomplished, you just got to really tip your hat to the kids and all the hard work they put in to improve all year and give us a chance to really establish ourselves as a consistent, pretty darn good baseball program.
No doubt about that. Hey, help me out real quick. In the past, it seems like these games are spread out longer. I think at one time they had like 1 game a week, but do you like them where you got 2 games, you know, within 3 or 4 days, especially with this pitch count thing, or would you like them to see it spread out more? I know they try to get it done before school's out and everything else, but what do you think? You think any of these rules will change? Anything that needs to change? Any things you like or don't like?
Well, in 3 years here that I've been here, it's changed every year in the playoffs. My first year, 3 years ago, it was 1 game a week.
Yeah.
And certainly that's easy when you have a really good pitcher or 2. It's easy to set that up. Last year, there was a little bit more time in between games, and then this year I thought was the least amount of time between games, and it gets even tougher this week for whoever wins tomorrow. The Final Four in Fort Myers is on Friday and Saturday. The semifinal game is Friday, and the final game is Saturday. So it's with the day's rest you need and these kids' arms. It's asking a lot for somebody to make a run like that. And so I prefer if there was a little bit more time. I know there's a proposal out there. I'm not sure whatever happened to it about trying to get a 2 out of 3 series in each round of the playoffs, maybe starting next year, which would shrink the regular season by 1 week, but it would only add 1 more week to the playoffs. So each round of the playoffs would be best 2 out of 3, and then the Final Four would be the Final Four.
Yeah.
I think that would be a positive. It would make you go through more pitchers also, but each pitcher would have about a week rest. So if you get through, the first round, I'm assuming you play Thursday, Saturday or something. So the guy that threw Thursday would come back Thursday instead of bouncing them back. We tried to do the best we could with what we had in terms of setting us up pitching wise because of the short rest. So we decided that we had 2 guys that could go on a couple days rest and just stay under 60 pitches, and that would be best for them and best for us. And there's other schools of thought, but it's tough. This year I think was the toughest on pitchers and pitch counts, and especially if you play all 5 games, it's quite a bit to ask. So Coach, it's a tough business. It is what it is.
Hang in there. You did a great job. Proud of you. Keep it up. I know you're getting ready to I give him some time off, and y'all get right back at it. I know baseball is year-round. Every sport now is year-round. Might try to get up with you before school's out, talk to you about your plans for the future and stuff like that. But right now, we got to take a break. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you for all you guys do for us.
Appreciate it.
At the high school level. You guys are great. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy. Coach Jones did a great job. He's done an unbelievable job since he's been there, got the program to the top. We took it on the chin this week in baseball.
It's okay. I mean, like you said, it improved through the years. Look where we are now, and hopefully we build on this.
And I tell you what, I think they got some great players coming back, and I think you'll see people wanting to go play baseball at Arnold High School. I really do. Just like I think people get injured, they want to go see Dr. Chad Mitchell. Chad, what's the best way to get up with a legend?
Call Orthopedic Associates, 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at www.chadmitchellmd.com. You can also look up robotic knee replacements if you need one at robotmd.com.
Do you want that yard to look absolutely gorgeous? There's only one thing you have to do. Call Turf Pro Pest Control. Patrick and his team will be out there. They will take care of everything. Believe me. You got bugs. Your grass just looks terrible. You're getting eaten up. Call Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll take care. We use them. They do a great job. They really and truly do. Outstanding people. I like old Patrick. He's a good man. All right. Also, Wednesday, Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. For $9.99, you get those 10 huge wings and a drink for $9.99. You can't beat that. Can't get that anywhere. And you starts at 11:30 to 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. But get out there any other day of the week and have a great meal at Beef O'Brady's. Tell Pat we sent you. Pat does so many great things for Lynn Haven and is always support athletics in here in Bay County. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you love pizzas, only one place to go. That is Paparazzi. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your attention, please.
ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on this, strike 3.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
The new Smokin' Triple Stack at Firehouse Subs is stacked high with honey ham, smoked turkey, and slow-smoked beef brisket. To top it off, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders. The Smokin' Triple Stack Sub. Get it for a limited time, only at Firehouse Subs. Participating U.S. locations. Firehouse of America, LLC, and Firehouse Subs suppliers together will donate 0.09% of purchases in 2023 at Firehouse Subs locations to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for the purchase of life-saving equipment with a minimum donation of $1 million.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
I have some great gift ideas for you here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves. We have a large selection of 14-karat charms starting at just $19.95. Engrave a personal message and add a special coin for your dad's birth year on a money clip or keychain. And a beautiful designer Bulova watch is a perfect gift that will be treasured forever. Always a perfect gift for any occasion. From Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves, where our reputation shines as brightly as our diamonds.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Florida State Update brought to you by Newbies. Get out to all three great locations. Have a great time. I tell you what, it was rolling in there. People were having a great time Friday and Saturday night at the Mothership. Newbie 2 on the curve. You can watch the NBA playoffs. You can watch softball tournament. Get ready to get cranked up. And then we have baseball. SEC baseball tournaments getting closer and closer. And we can watch FSU. Anything's going on at FSU, softball, baseball. We can watch it all at Newbies 2 on the curve. John and Sharp do a great job. Get out there and support them. Tell them Coach sent you. Chad, before we get into FSU, I do want to ask, because we got plenty of time to do FSU, but I want to ask you, your mother. I know you had a great mother. All great people come from great mothers. And we were asked John about his, and we talked about mine. But athletically, was your mom into it? Was she fair for you?
Oh, she was there for me. Yeah, I remember.
Tell me one story.
I'll give you a little story as a little insight. You know, I was probably I think I was a sophomore. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was either a sophomore or a junior. Maybe I was a junior, like in football.
Yeah.
And it was hot. I mean, I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, and I'm at practice, and I'm just burning up hot, and I just really want something to drink pretty bad. You know, I can't wait to get home, get me something to drink, and my mom pulls up in the station wagon, you know, and I get in, and she hands me a mason jar, all right, that has ice and sweet tea in it.
Ooh.
And I mean, it was a large mason jar, had the lid on it and everything. And I went, what's this? And she goes, I thought you'd be hot and you'd be thirsty. I mean, you know, hey, your mother, right? Your mother looks out for you. You know, I was like, man, in that moment, I was like, man, somebody cares about me.
Yeah.
You know, not
Ice,
that I didn't.
Little caffeine, little flavor, little sugar.
It hit the spot, let me tell you. And, you know, she was there for me. Actually, it was probably my sophomore year. Since my junior year, I was probably driving. But, so it was probably my sophomore year.
Did she like football? Did she like baseball? Was she into sports? Did she know who Bear Bryant was?
Oh, she knew who Bear Bryant was.
Was she a Bear Bryant?
Yeah, oh, yeah. So she...
Hey, I love your mom.
So, I have to tell you, my mother was an Auburn fan.
What? What happened?
My dad
you
was...
overcame a lot.
My dad was an Auburn graduate. My two younger brothers are Auburn graduates. I'm the black sheep of the family.
Oh, hey, that's awesome, man. We got the same thing in ours. Same thing. We got some Auburn Tigers on ours.
Yeah, my mother loved. So my dad, he took when I was 9 because he liked Bear Bryant, and when I was around 9, I decided I was going to be an Alabama fan. I was going to cut against the grain there, you know. And my dad,
I could tell you were intelligent.
It didn't bother. It didn't bother my dad because my dad, he loved Auburn. Don't get me wrong. My dad loved Auburn, but he liked coaches and he followed coaches and he followed good coaches, kind of like I like Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
I like good coaches. I like Dabo Swinney. I like following these coaches and see what they're doing. My dad was like that. So when I became an Alabama fan, you know, he thought probably, well, this is fleeting, or maybe this is going to be his team and we'll have this fun rivalry back and forth. He had a little bit of one with his dad with baseball. We'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, so my dad took me to my first ever Alabama game, and it was the Alabama USC game I referenced from 1978, where they lost USC.
Yeah, by 10 points.
And there's a whole story that goes along with that game too.
They couldn't stop the toss sweep that day.
But anyway, but I went to my first Alabama game. Now, prior to that, I had been probably to 3 or 4 Auburn games.
Right.
So, you know, I grew up going to Auburn games, Alabama games, that kind of thing. But, yeah, my mother was a big Auburn fan, yes. She knew who Bear Bryant was.
When you said she loved Bear Bryant, that made my day, man. Good job. All right, what do you have for us today on Florida State Seminoles? Anything good and positive we can talk about today?
Well, we can talk about the softball team.
There you go. I didn't know we were talking much about baseball, but I think Bill Allen ruined FSU baseball program. I think he did. I blame everything on Bill.
I can't blame it on him. So the Florida State Seminoles softball team, they beat number 9 Duke for their 19th ACC championship. They beat Duke 2-1.
19, baby.
Yeah. So that's the positive news. FSU ranked number 3 as of last week. So anyway, winning the ACC championship. So they've got a game, it looks like this Friday at 4 p.m. for the NCAA regionals. So we'll be rooting for them, see how far they get in the regionals. The baseball team, on the other hand, they did kind of end this weekend on a positive note, beating Wake Forest, who's number 1, 4-3. They had lost the 2 previous games on Friday and Saturday, 10-0 and 7-3.
Yeah.
So the baseball team now is 20-30. 7-20 in the conference. I don't believe that. I mean, I look at it and, you know, but I mean, we know what's going on. It's a rebuilding time. You know, and they just need to keep working at it. You know, there's nowhere but up. Yeah. You know, at this point. So they just need to keep plugging along, keep making changes, keep getting better. But congratulations to the FSU softball team.
I think next year needs to be a good year for baseball program.
Absolutely.
At FSU.
Yeah, we need to see that.
Then I think all this stuff we're saying now will be like, No, we've won every year forever, and now all of a sudden we can't win. But he played there. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
It's just kind of anything go wrong has been going wrong.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he knows what he's doing, and he's building a program. You just got to give him time. Yeah. And yes,
but isn't it hard to say you're building a program at Florida State where they're known that is the program?
Yes, but
I mean, and the winningest coach that ever coached at Florida State forever. Anyway. You got a text here. Do you miss me now? I think that was to Bill Allen. I think that was Bill's. Anyway, FSU. I know football. I cannot wait. Week 1 of college football, man. What a game.
Oh, FSU, LSU.
We can talk about that until now the kickoff.
That's going to be fun. So who are you rooting for?
You know, I went last year and had a great time. We were in FSU section, had a wonderful time. I about got beat up because I had an Alabama shirt on at the game.
Florida
State people treat me great.
Oh, okay.
The LSU people wanted to kill me.
Exactly.
So I got mad. So I was pulling for FSU big time. Now, I think, I don't know, just a hunch. I have no idea. I mean, we got a long way to go. We got to go through football camp and everything else, and who's healthy week 1. But I do believe since Florida State goes into the state of Louisiana, you like that?
Yeah.
Anyway, they go over there, New Orleans, and they get that win. I kind of feel they might see the same thing happen. I think you see a great game where at the very end LSU kicks a field goal or something and wins. I'm not sure, though. This is going to be a great football game. Brian Kelly has been talking about this football team. This is a good football team. He knows it. He's coached a long time. He's highly intelligent. He's a great football coach. He knows what he's got. They're going to be good. They got the best, maybe the best defense player in the country coming back. That freshman is so much like Will Anderson. He's incredible. He's back his sophomore year. The quarterback improved every week. He can run, he can throw. They got a great backup quarterback. They played a lot of young guys last year. And then look at Florida State. They've finally got a good offensive line. They got depth on both sides of the ball. They might have the best quarterback in college football. They got that big receiver. It's just going to be it's going to be a great football game.
I think so too.
Yeah, I could see it going to overtime.
Now here's the deal. If, regardless of them saying it's a neutral site, it's really not a neutral site.
More FSU people there.
More LSU.
FSU.
Probably. You think there's more FSU?
In Orlando?
Oh, it's Orlando this year. That's
last
right.
year.
Last year, I got confused. Yeah. No, so good. Yeah.
You leave those robots alone and start talking to humans.
I had forgotten.
You'll be okay.
Hey, I got time. I got time to get to Orlando. Hey,
let me get this in. Let me get this in real quick. We took it on the chin this week in baseball, high school baseball. Chipley beat Patton in Bozeman 3-1. Dang it, I hate that. Arnold got beat, we know, by Baker 3-2. I mean, that's a heartbreaking, right? There's 2 games right there. Could have gone either way. And then there's another one. South Walton, I thought Mike would win the whole thing. They got upset. And I know they play a really good team. Bishop Kenny's really good. They beat 3-2. And then Buchholz put on Mosley 7-2. So it's over. I mean, we have nothing. In the past, we were always talking about the trip to.
But we were there. I mean, our schools were there.
Yeah, we got to get back there and continue to go there.
Got to keep pushing forward.
Now, great thing about it, Patton's team is young. I guarantee they'll be there next year. Arnold, I guarantee they'll be back in playoffs next year. South Walton ain't going anywhere. They got it rolling over there. And Mosley's Mosley. They'll be back. There's no doubt about that. Coach's second year. First year is your hardest. Second year gets better. So I'm looking for all 4 of those programs are doing some great things next year in baseball. Hudson's over at Bay. That's getting better. Coffin's doing a great job at Rutherford. So baseball is good. Baseball is good to Bay County. All right, how much time we got? We got to take a break. Well, let's take that sucker after I talk about Rudy's Barbecue on Bad Beach Road. If you want something catered, you care about your faculty, you care about your friends, you care about your employees. Have it catered by Rudy's Barbecue. They'll bring it to you. Better yet, get down there to the Lorelei Layton room and have a party back there. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road, the best barbecue you can get anywhere. It's incredible. And don't forget about their turkey, the turkey plate, the turkey sandwich. Ethan and Boyd will be here tomorrow. Get out to Rudy's and have a great time. We'll be right back. You listen to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
I mean, 1, 2, or 3 at the end of the day, as long as you hit on those picks at the first, second, or third, you should
team
do
with
well
the third
there.
best odds got the first pick. Like, people can cry. I don't know.
I don't know.
What we're gonna see here though is the Bears got the first pick.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a high near 84 and a wind between 8 to 12 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 74. About the same tomorrow, around 82 with some sun most of the day aside from possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Are you thinking of doing a fundraiser? Well, Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan says, let's raise some dough. Earn up to 50% profit with a Krispy Kreme fundraiser in-shop or online. So let's raise some dough. At Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
Hi, this is Ryan Mulvey. Join me weekdays starting at 11 for the Inside Drive. The latest sports stories, the biggest reactions, and even sports betting right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Before we go Gators, let's go back to FSU and bring it in. Rob, how you doing this morning, buddy?
I can't believe y'all played that song.
That was just for you.
Hey, Florida Day is Wednesday.
You're right. You're right.
Y'all got the whole show on Wednesday. The Florida Gators do. So can we not just have at least a few segments with FSU?
I love it.
We did
We're
that
going to trade it in for an Alabama, another Alabama day.
Okay. We need more Alabama. That's true.
The reason that I was calling is that the LSU and the Florida State game.
Yeah.
I think here's my thing, and watching over a lot of these younger coaches like Kiffin and all them, they all play like they don't really have a chance, and that they're trying to play with these schemes. 4th and short. How many times have they gone for 4th and short in their own territory, deep, and not playing field position?
Yeah.
And what has it gotten them? That is,
losses.
They're a good team, and they beat a lot of people, but they just can't get over that hump.
Yep.
The older coaches with more experience and everything else, they're not just going to give you the momentum.
Right.
You're going to have to earn it, and that's the problem and if Norvell can kind of not make those, you've got the momentum, we've got everything, okay, it didn't work, punt, and move,
play defense, yes.
Play defense.
Yes.
Make them drive the field. Let's not be on our own 32-yard line, and just because it's 4th and short, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a defense now. That's the difference. He's got a good defense, and so he can rely on them, and that's huge for a coach.
Well, but I'm not saying they've had the best defense in the last year and the year before, but I would rather them have to drive from their own 20 than from our 30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%.
I was at an Auburn Ole Miss game, I think it was 2 years ago, and watched Ole Miss do exactly what you're saying, and I just shook my head the whole time knowing that Lane Kiffin's calling this. They went for it on 4th down, and I think they made 1 out of 5, and Auburn won the game basically because they kept them in poor field position the entire game. Instead of punting and letting Ole Miss's defense was not playing bad. They could have kept Auburn in bad field position.
He did the same thing against Alabama 2 years ago. We're in Tuscaloosa. It's like, I think it's like a 35-yard line. Goes for it. Alabama stuffed them. And they, like you said, Rob, they take it right down the field and score. They had a short field. And it got away from him. I don't get it. I don't understand it either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying is that people, you know as well as I do, both of you. Momentum is it's the 12th, 13th, and 14th guy. So I mean, if you got the momentum, and when you stuff somebody on 4th down, you get a turnover, anything like that, it's go for the juggernaut, go deep. Everybody always says when you turn the ball over inside your own territory, why does the defensive backs not back up an extra 3 or 4 yards and go, hey, they're going to try and go for it right here. Yeah. They got the momentum.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they score. And everybody in the state knows it.
I don't think Brian Kelly will make a mistake like that. He's coached for a long time. He doesn't do things like that.
Right. They're looking at, play field position, make them drive, because even if you make them drive the length of the field, it might not happen in the first quarter, the second quarter, but you get in the fourth quarter, their defense and the defensive get tired, from having to go and work that. And if you give up, 2 touchdowns because the coach made, and in the back of your mind, you're going like, Coach, why are we going for this? I understand if we do it, we still got the ball, but hey, let's punt.
Yeah.
Give us a chance. Give your defense a chance.
Rob, let me ask you this. Last year's game was played indoors. It was nice here, the Mercedes Dome, it was air-conditioned. It was great. This year's game's outside. I know it's going to be at night. I know for a fact it'll be at night. And it will have electrical storm, probably be delayed that time of year down in Orlando. But it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Who's that favorite? Because it's hot and humid in Baton Rouge, just like it is in Tallahassee. Who do you think? And the crowd should be more FSU people there, you would think, even though LSU does travel well.
The bad thing is now we've got those soft indoor practice stadium fields, that we go inside and turn the air conditioner on, So and I guarantee you that if Florida had played Utah in a neutral site indoors or played in Utah, Florida would not have beat them last year.
Probably right.
Right. So this year, I don't know what they'll end up doing or whatever, but you're not going to have the heat, humidity, and you're not going to have kids puking on the sidelines and just, because if you've never played sports, I mean, people bitch and complain when they walk from their office to get in their car in the afternoon, how hot they get and wore out and everything. Get out there and run up and down a football field in it.
With some pads and a helmet on.
With some pads and a helmet on and all that. Why do they think they got them cooling fans running on the home field side and all that, I mean, everybody's always said is, well, would you rather it be hot or cold? I said, I can put more clothes on to get warm, but I can't take but so many off.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you, Rob, I just hope and pray that this game doesn't hurt either LSU or FSU. When they say strength of schedule counts, they went on the line to play each other. I mean, instead of having a cupcake, that's 2 big-time programs getting after each other. And I just hope the committee picks the best teams. I'd rather have a 2-loss FSU in there than a 1-loss Kansas in there or something like that.
Right.
Well, and I agree, but I think this being the last year of the 4 teams, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. Unless you get everybody in the Southeastern Conference and beats up on each other and all of them end up with 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you got, the problem is you got your top 5 teams. Let's just say we got Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, and Ohio State. If those 4, if one of them goes undefeated and only has 1 loss, or the other one is undefeated and the other one's just got 1 loss, and then there's Georgia, the problem, it just depends on at the end of the day who's got the 2 losses and how that kind of works out. I don't think either way. I don't think if FSU loses to LSU or LSU loses to FSU, I don't think the problem is that if LSU loses to FSU, they have to play Alabama once, in the regular season.
Yep.
And then they have to play, if they win the West, then they're going to have to play in the championship game. So without anything you say, if they lose to FSU, don't lose another game, they have to play Alabama. And if they lose that one, but Alabama screws up and loses 2 games, and LSU goes and plays Georgia, and Georgia beats them.
Right.
You probably got, you could end up, losing to the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 team at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But you got 3 losses.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. That's like FSU going. I think they're going to have to play Clemson twice.
Well,
then they got LSU week 1.
But there again, if you go in and you beat LSU and then you lose to Clemson twice, you've lost it. Say LSU is in the top 5 at the end of the year and Clemson's number 1.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't lost to anybody. Then what do you say? Is that we lost to a top 5 team and we lost to the number 1 team?
I'll tell you one thing, you better be ready week 2. Southern Mississippi pulls up in there.
Well, and in this day and age, you never, I've always said this.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to beat who can, any given week.
Yeah. I hear you.
Not as bad as it used to, as basketball or whatever, but, you can have a down day and just things don't go your way, and you can lose to a top 20 team.
All right, Rob, we got to go. We got to talk about Florida, unless you want to sit here and talk Florida with us.
I think I'll pass on that.
All right, Rob, thanks for calling, buddy.
See y'all later.
All right, what you got for Florida Gators?
Florida, the number 7 baseball team blanked Vanderbilt, who was number 5. Blanked them 10-0 on Friday, 6-2 on Saturday, and 6-2 on Sunday to sweep the number 5 Vanderbilt Commodores. So
good job.
The number 7 Florida baseball team is on a roll. They have Kentucky coming up next, and of course, the SEC tournament starts May 23rd. That's what everybody's looking towards.
Cannot wait.
The softball team, they're number 21. They're going to the NCAA regionals. They lost the SEC tournament to the number 1 seed Tennessee Volunteers 4-0. That was on Friday, but they are going to the NCAA regional, and that is May 19th from 3 to 6 p.m. in Stanford, California, or Palo Alto, California. So
good job,
anyway,
Gators.
The Gators and softball and baseball are getting it done.
Good job, Gators. Keep it up, baby. I can't wait to get to Hoover. We're going to go. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be there leaving Wednesday. Going to be there Thursday, Friday, watch those games. Jeremy's going to fill in for me Thursday, and I think Brian Friday. Are you going up there this year? I know Dr. Ward's going to go up there.
Yeah, I'm probably not going.
Yeah, you need, before you kick it in, you need to go watch it. It's fun. It's fun going to Hoover watching these games. I tell you what else is a great thing you better do. Michael's Insurance Solutions. Michael does a great job. You listen to him here Thursday mornings. Medicare supplements, Advantage plans, individual, family, and group health insurance. Michael's Insurance Solution. Look it up. Give him a call. He'll come to your house. And when you're getting ready to turn 65, you want to know every option you have, because everybody's different. Everybody has different health issues. Michael's Insurance Solution will walk you through it and take care of it. And the great thing about Michael, he'll come to your house. Again, you can listen to him here on Thursday mornings. Also, we got another legendary doctor Wednesday morning. Dr. Ward will be here at 7:38. He'll be talking about the Florida Gators and everything else happening in athletics. Does an incredible job. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, 5 minutes can save your life. Go see Dr. Ward. There's an office throughout Northwest Florida. Make an appointment. Go see him. He does an incredible job. He's worked on me several times. Thank God he did. He does a great job. All right, we'll be right back. You listen to the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
I wanted to ask you a couple more of those fun, tricky questions. Yesterday, we finished the show with some of these questions we didn't really get a chance to discuss too much. I threw it out there. I said, Colorado under Deion Sanders has a winning football season. What are your thoughts on that?
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a high near 84 and a wind between 8 to 12 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 74. About the same tomorrow, around 82 with some sun most of the day aside from possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WFLQ Port St. John, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. You talking about great people. Jason's one of the finest men I've met, one of the most honest guys I've ever been around. They do a great job. They got a great company, family owned, locally here, grew up here. Stevenson Air Conditioning for all your needs. If it breaks down any time, day or night, call Stevenson. They'll get out there and take care of you. I tell you this all the time, and you really, I know we're all struggling right now, but if you have one and all you're doing is paying high power bill every single month, trying to cool your house down, it's time to get rid of it. Get you a new one, and I'm telling you, deal with Stevenson Air Conditioning. They don't rip you off. They'll come in, they'll tell you, square footage, this is what you need. Here's your options. This is what it does. They come in there, they put it in there, they do an incredible job, and they are honest, good people. They don't try to rip you off and get every penny you got. They're really good people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Thank God we went with them. I think everybody's even been in the studio at any time it's gone. I know you used them, Chad. You got a brand new unit from Stevenson Air Conditioning.
Absolutely. It's working great.
Yeah, great people. I really like those. Great people down there. All right, let's talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. 3 former Alabama athletes are going to the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Roman Harper, you can watch him now on SEC Network. Jackie Sherrill, one of the great head football coaches. And Gerald Wallace, a basketball player, played basketball 1 year at the University of Alabama. All right, Harper, he played high school football in Prattville, Alabama. He was a really good football player there, a high school football player, recruited by a lot of people. He signed and went to the University of Alabama, played safety for the Crimson Tide 2002 to 2005. You know how many tackles he had? He had 302 tackles. That's crazy.
Well, that tells you what was going on with the defense.
Yeah. That tells you they were the safety's making all the tackles.
The safety's making all the tackles. Exactly, yeah.
Remember, from 2002 to 2005, we weren't the powerhouse. That
he needed to be a power safety.
Yeah. He was beat up. He was beat up quite a bit. Hey, he played for the Saints. When they won the Super Bowl with the Saints, he was on that football team there. Did great things there. He was first-team All-SEC football player 11 years, Chad. He made it 11 years in the NFL.
Awesome.
I mean, seriously, when you can survive, if you make 5, I think you're vested, you get your retirement and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He made 11. Most people make it like 2 years if you're lucky. When you look at the whole scheme. But what a great job he did in the NFL. What a great job he did at the University of Alabama. He does a great job on the SEC network. I really enjoy watching him and listening to him. We've gone to games up there in Tuscaloosa when they've been there. Feinbaum and those guys have been there, been real close to him. Good-looking guy, really good with the fans. Between commercial breaks and stuff like that, he'll talk to the fans. He'll talk to people. Just a good guy. Reminds me of like a Dr. Chad Mitchell. Way up there in society, but he treats the little man good.
Way up there in society.
He treats the little guy good. I like that.
He's more famous than I am.
I don't know. He was talking about you up there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Jackie Sherrill. I like Jackie Sherrill.
I do too.
Some people don't. I like him.
I like him too.
He played for the great Paul Bear Bryant. He was a member of Alabama's 1964 national championship team. I think 1965 also. 25 years he was a college head football coach. He started out at Washington State. He went to Pittsburgh and did a great job there. At Pitt, he was 33-13. No, I'm sorry, 33-3. Jackie should have stayed there. No, I remember Texas A&M came. They really wanted Bo Schembechler. They were going to pay him. At that time, it was unheard of. I think it was like $250,000, but at that time, it was like unheard about that kind of money going to a college coach. Bear was making about $1 million back there with all his deals, but nobody knew it. But Bo turned it down. Then they went after Jackie Sherrill. He goes there and did a great job. I think he was a head coach there. I want to see he was head coach there from 1979. No, it was. I can't remember the years. I apologize. But his record at Texas A&M, I think it was 82 when he got there. But anyway, his record at Texas A&M was 52-28. Did a good job at Texas A&M. His overall record as head football coach, Jackie Sherrill, was 179 wins. After that, where did he go? Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hard to win there. He won 179 games. He lost 121. I bet most of those were at A&M. He tied 4. His bowl record, he had 8 wins and 6 losses. One of the great ones in college football. Tough football player, really hard-nosed guy. Brian talks quite a bit about with him. When Brian was at Mississippi State, I think Brian was in the radio studio when they did the TV game, playbacks and stuff like that. And I think he got to know Jackie. He met Jackie Sherrill. And they say he's very cautious, not too open with people. Like he really doesn't trust the media and things like that. But then once he knows you and believes in you, he's a great guy. I've always heard good things about Jackie Sherrill. Now, Wallace played basketball only for 1 year at Alabama. That was 2000 to 2001. And he is now also in the Alabama Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all of them. Chad, you going to ask me if I'm in the Alabama Hall of Fame?
I don't have to ask.
You know.
You're not.
You know the answer to that. I'm working on it.
And you can call Saban and see if he needs
get me in
an
there.
assistant.
Yeah. Alabama, we went after, I got to go over again now. They've been going after DBs. They got another one, Jeff Key, over FSU and Ole Miss. I know Chad, he was one that grew up, I think he played at Godby. He really took off and grew quite a bit in college, but he looks forward to. That's what he had to say about why he went to Alabama over FSU. Ole Miss tried to get him too, but it was really between Alabama and FSU. Look forward to being part of the best defense in college football. I like that. Looking forward to playing the best defense in college football. I chose Alabama because of the defensive scheme they run. It fits what I do best. And Alabama has put a lot of DBs in the NFL. A lot of DBs in the NFL. Should I say it again? If you're out there wondering where you should go to school, look at the number of players Alabama has put into the NFL. This young man says, I'm going to Bama because they put us in the NFL. He's highly intelligent, right? Smart guy. What did he do in 2022? Did a pretty good job playing safety. He's 6'2", 210, good-sized kid.
Wow.
He had 60 tackles. He had 4.5 tackles for loss. He had 3 interceptions. Again, good-sized football player. They got the other kid from Lafayette, the cornerback Trey Amos. They got him. They needed a corner. They got it. They needed a safety. They got it. But is it kind of interesting that they're having to do this? Usually that's what Nick coaches. That's his love of his life is coaching DBs. And you would think they'd never be thin there, and they are. They're getting these guys coming there to play right now, give them some depth, and they've got some really good young players coming up. But they had those 2 or 3 of them that went to the NFL, and one of them didn't get drafted. The kid, Eli Ricks, I think is his name, came in from Louisiana. He should have stayed. He had a great body. He had great potential. Yeah. He goes out, didn't work out for him. He should have stayed another year.
Well, Saban talks to all of them about these things.
Yeah.
So they don't have an excuse. Some listen,
some don't. Yeah. That's the smart ones listen to the man knows what he's talking about. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about. How much time we got? Oh, no, there's no way. Do we really? Yeah. Well, I'm going to quit. I don't want to do anymore.
Wait. You don't have enough to talk about on Alabama?
Well, I do, but I don't have enough. I don't know if we'll have it. See, I've got this one thing.
I'm out of here. Here comes the lightning bolts.
Will you get his Alzheimer's medicine?
Do you know that Nick didn't go to the golf tournament in Birmingham, Greystone? He wasn't there. Everybody, Charles Barkley, Bo Jackson, Hugh Freeze, everybody was there. Everybody, Kirby, everybody's there.
What was Nick doing?
He was in Italy. A little vacation.
Oh.
Italy.
Well,
he bought a Ferrari dealership, and you have to go there at least once a year, especially if you just bought a new dealership. And I think that's where he was at. No, I do. I think that he had to go.
Mafia money, Doc.
Dang. Does he need somebody to test drive the Ferraris?
What do you think? Does he have to? I guess for tax purposes, he needs to have a couple of businesses and stuff. You know why he didn't have to give all his money away?
He's making more money.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm there, though, why would I get tied up? He already had the Mercedes play. He has 2 Mercedes dealership. Infinity, I think he has that one at
Birmingham. What's he got against American cars, Doc? Ask him that, huh?
Well, that's a good question. Well, some of the Mercedes are made in
What's he got against
Birmingham?
American cars, Coach?
Well, some of the Mercedes.
Hey, we don't question what Nick. We don't question what Nick Saban does here in this show. Whatever he does. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to badmouth any American vehicles.
Have you ever driven a Ferrari?
No.
You can do it out in like Vegas. You can rent one. I say rent one.
They can fly, won't they?
They fly. I drove a 458. And
he's got 2 or 3 of them.
I don't have. No, I don't. I can't afford a Ferrari, or I can't even afford a Porsche.
I'm a little guy, and I can't even get in a Ferrari.
How much do they cost?
Well, one of the Porsches that's like the 911 style. I mean, they get up into $200,000 range. Yeah, exactly. And then your Ferraris, they're up there. But you can drive one in Vegas.
My question to you is,
go to a world-class driving experience in Vegas. You can drive one for a day.
Can the average guy in Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham afford a $200,000 car?
No, but they can. If they go to Vegas, they can do the little driving experience and drive one. You can.
All right.
You can. So I mean, okay, I don't own one, but I can go drive one.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people here, like South Oak Title and Closing. I guarantee you, Chuck Tucker's not going to cost you $200,000. I can't imagine spending $200,000 for a car. South Oak Title and Closing, they do a wonderful job. Chuck Tucker and his crew, offices throughout Northwest Florida. You go to your closing, it's your money, it's your deal to man South Oak Title and Closing. I know Mark Coward does, I know Beth Movey do. Also, don't forget about J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive, best seafood, coldest beer, and don't forget about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill right here across from the Navy base. Great Mexican food, lunch specials Monday through Friday. They have happy hour 3 to 7. You buy one, you get one free. And I tell you what, Thursday night karaoke is a fun thing to go watch. The band's there, that little Mexican band they have in there on Friday nights. Go out there and have a wonderful time. Tell David that Coach sent you in there. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road, the best barbecue, the best turkey you'll get anywhere, and one of the best facilities around. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, I said it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ethan Boyd will be with us tomorrow. Get out to Rudy's Barbecue. Have a great time. We'll be right back. You listen to Dr. Chad Mitchell, Wildcat, on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. All of our great friends down in Port St. Joe, 102.9, and as soon as we can, 102.1 Marietta. We'll be right back.
version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a high near 84 and a wind between 8 to 12 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 74. About the same tomorrow, around 82 with some sun most of the day aside from possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James Guadamar. I love James Guadamar. You know him? Great man. Do you know James? Great guy. He goes to church with Tommy and Jeremy. He lives in Bay Point, builds homes. Just a wonderful, wonderful man. Family, Jenna's wife. I think she used to work for school board. I think she still does. But they raised 4 gorgeous daughters. 2 of them cheered with Juliet Arnold, and I think 2 went to Bay. But you talking about a mixed family now. They big Auburn people. I think a couple of girls went to Auburn. 1 went to Florida. I'm pretty sure maybe 2 of them went to Florida. But great people. Anytime I do the Auburn update, I think about James. I hadn't seen him in a while. James, I hope you're doing well. Jenna, I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day, because you are a great mother, no doubt about that. Auburn update brought to you by Bay Point Golf. If you love golf, get out to Bay Point, have a great time. Ryan Rovey had a show from 11 to 1 right after ours. Go leave it right here. I'll tell you what, he does a great job. Everything he does. Auburn. T.J. Finley, the former Auburn quarterback. Guess what, Chad? There was an article, I think must have been fake, that he was considering Ohio State. Well, they got the state part. The front part was not Ohio State.
No.
It was Texas State.
Yes, that sounds more like it.
Yeah, he's going to take his talent to Texas State. I didn't think when I heard this thing about Ohio State, I said, there's no way. There's no way. Ohio State's got some great quarterbacks there waiting to play. They got a good quarterback room. I thought he'd been wasting his time. Matter of fact, I didn't even think they would offer him, which they obviously they didn't. But I like the kid. He did get his degree from Auburn. He decided not to stay and compete. He decided to leave and go play somewhere else. This is a young man coming out of high school. A lot of people recruited. Huge kid, 6'6", 6'7", 250, 260 in that range. Got a cannon for an arm. Just not very consistent, and his throwing sometimes doesn't make the right decisions. But then again, these injuries play part of him not performing as well as we thought he would. When you get injured, you're not on the field practicing, you don't develop your skills. He spent his first year at LSU. He started at LSU, okay? At LSU. He started 5 football games as a true freshman back in 2020. Now, was that not the year after LSU won the national championship?
Right, yeah.
So there was talent there on LSU's team, and he was a talented football player.
He's got talent. There's no question.
Now, he did that as a true freshman at LSU. For whatever reason, things didn't work out. He leaves. He comes to Auburn. Auburn in 2021, he started 3 games. He started in 2022, and then he got hurt. He got hurt against Penn State. Never was the same after that. Robbie comes in, does a good job. Ashford comes in, does a good job. They can battle during spring with Hugh Freeze, and he had made some comments. If they look for another quarterback, then, it's not going to be a good thing for me. And sure enough, Hugh Freeze let it be known that he's going to go get and create some competition. We're going to have 3 or 4 good quarterbacks. Hugh Freeze said we're going to have at least 4 quarterbacks on the roster every single year, at least 4, probably 5. So he didn't like that. And I get it. He's didn't feel like he's going to play at Auburn, so he's going to go where he thinks he has an opportunity to get on the field and play. And at Texas State, it's not the same as the SEC. It's not the same as Auburn. So, do you blame him? No, I think he's going to go where he can play.
Yeah, I can't blame him, but at the same time, I'm not understanding what Auburn's doing necessarily. I mean, I'm looking at the transfer portal, and so TJ Finley's going out, and this Peyton Thorne from Michigan.
Thorne, I like this kid.
You like him anyway. He's coming in from Michigan State. Now, I'd kind of like to see what Michigan Eddie thinks of him.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what Michigan Eddie thinks of him, but I tell you what, he's going to make Auburn better. I'm telling you, the kid. I saw when he's on, he's on. When he's on, he's got the ability to do it. And Hugh Freeze can develop quarterbacks. I think it's great for Auburn. Talking about head football coach Hugh Freeze, he's brought in some good players to Auburn. There's no doubt about that. They might not contend for the SEC this year, but then again, nobody thought LSU would contend for the SEC. What did LSU do in the first year? Head coach Brian Kelly, they win the West.
Right.
They win the West. Does Hugh Freeze create magic like that in year one? A lot of people say no way, but the amount of talent he's brought in here, I think Auburn's going to be a lot better than you think. Hugh Freeze can coach. They've got in 16 new football players that can play. Auburn's lost 21 players, but we're just talking about that quarterback you're talking about from Michigan State, Thorne. He can do it. They got to Ohio State. I talked to some people, Buckeye people. They say this kid's a really good football player, Burton from Ohio State. They got that linebacker, Keys, I think his name, defensive lineman Rogers. A lot of talent. He's brought in a lot of talent. Harrison didn't leave much. Recruiting, that was a big deal on him. Of course, it's hard to recruit when everybody there wants you fired, and everybody in the SEC is using that against you. But Hugh Freeze is building something good. He's building back the roster. They were 17th in the nation this past year in recruiting, and he was there for a short period of time. He's brought in, again, at least 16 really good football players throughout the country, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers. You name it, they brought it in with their needs. They've met their needs. Looking forward to next year's recruiting in 2024 class. I guarantee you Auburn will be in the top 10 in recruiting next year. That's how good he is. That's how good his staff is. If you're an Auburn person, you should be really, really pleased with what you've done with bringing in Hugh Freeze. He's going to do a great job. All right, we got a caller. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Quick comment on TJ Finley and his time at LSU as a true freshman. The year after LSU won the national championship was probably the best offensive team I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
71 years. They lost 17 players, I believe, to the pros. That was not a great team in 2020. So as a true freshman, you're not going to do much. And I believe the quarterback position is different than every other position when you're trying to about this transfer portal because only one quarterback plays. Mm-hmm. And when you're Finley in your 4th or 5th year, probably your last year in college, you want to get on the field, whether it's just because you like playing football or maybe you've got some dream where you still going to get noticed and get a tryout in the NFL.
Caller, let me interrupt you. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Caller, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
If you can, if you're not driving, can you take us off of your speakerphone? I think because we're getting a lot of feedback and we can barely understand what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
that's
now.
much. Thank you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to. I don't know if you heard any of what I had to say, but. TJ Finley, his freshman year at LSU, they had a not-so-great team because they lost 17 players off that national championship team to the NFL.
Right.
And so when he's now in his probably 5th year in college, he wants to get on the field, and quarterback is not like every other position where multiple people are going to come in and out. You're going to have 2 guards and 2 tackles and packages and whatever. Only one quarterback's going to play, and this is his only chance to play. I not only totally understand it, I think he's smart to leave.
Yeah.
So
I
that
agree.
was my only comment.
Yeah, I did hear you say about that 2019 LSU offense. I'm with you. That's probably the best offense I've seen
In my life, and I'm 71 years old, so I've seen a lot of offenses. That's the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, and you're right. That's the thing that blew my mind. You watch Georgia just reload. They lose all those people off that team. I think they had 15 drafted, and they come back and win it again. Alabama's won back-to-back. And I really thought LSU was going to have the thing rolling there for a while. And that they had a terrible year that last year, wasn't it? I mean, 2020, I think, they were like, that's the year he got fired, wasn't it? 2020, he got fired in 2021.
I believe so. And one difference between LSU then and Georgia now is LSU lost probably a generational quarterback in Joe Burrow for that year.
Yep.
Stetson Bennett was a good player for Georgia, but he could be substituted for. Georgia's team was built on defense. LSU's team was built on offense. That way that offense ran.
Yeah.
That's big difference.
And also, I think the offense coordinator left and took a job, I think, with the NFL or something like that. So
that's exactly exactly right. So Georgia's team, if you've got the people stacked up to come in and play defense, but it's hard to find that once-in-a-lifetime quarterback that can come in and probably had the best season of any passing quarterback in my lifetime.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, thank you for calling. I appreciate you, sir. Be careful.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Let's talk about some of our great people. Again, you love golf. Get out to Bay Point. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, man. You want a great meal? Get down there. I don't care what you order. Get your order fries. Chad, you know I like French fries, all right? I try not to eat them, but I like them. If I go to Beef O'Brady's, I'm going to get their French fries. They're the best you can get. But on Wednesdays at Beef O'Brady's, they've got those 10 wings and for $9.99 and a drink from 11:30 to 3. Beef O'Brady's. Go have a great time. Pat does a great job, by the way, over in Lynn Haven. Does a great job in the city, too. Pat, thank you, buddy, for everything you do. Beef O'Brady's. Also, don't forget about Dr. Ward. Wednesday, 7:30. You can listen to him right here in 104.3. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Chad, I'm looking at you right now. Go see Dr. Ward. He'll take care of it. There's offices everywhere throughout Northwest Florida. And great thing, I'm so pleased for all you wonderful people in Panama City. You don't have to cross the bridge anymore to go see Jason Kovaleski at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Especially you coaches out there. Coach Brown at Bay, I know he uses Jason a lot. All the great ones do. You want your kid to get bigger, stronger, faster, go down and see Jason Kovaleski at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. If you want to lose weight, whatever your needs are, the guy's incredible. Go spend some time with him. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's right beside Granny's, Max Fit Sports Nutrition on 23rd Street. Go down there and have a great time. We'll be right back. Dr. Chad Mitchell with us this morning. Wildcat on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per $1,000 finance at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/5/23.
Give them a call. Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Appreciate you listening this morning. Be careful driving back to work. Hope you have a great week. The heat is on. Chazzy, can you believe how quickly it's got pretty warm out there? It got humid. I went for a little walk, and it started raining. I mean, just no clouds in the sky. Water was coming down. I kept looking for birds, but it was raining.
You do know it's May, right?
Yeah.
May in Panama City.
It feels like it's June, though. That's the problem.
The birds and said, "Go ahead, everybody else goes."
Unbelievable. But anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. Put that sunscreen on. I tell you what.
Wear a hat to protect yourself from the birds.
No doubt about it. Wear a hat. Put the sunscreen on. If you have any other problems, go see Dr. Ward. College football programs with the highest earnings. But, they're NFL stars. When you go from, let's say you're at Nebraska and you go play somewhere, they rank the 10 best college football programs as far as earnings, okay?
So Nebraska's up there?
No, I just that was a tension getter.
You just randomly mentioned that dumpster fire.
That was a tension getter right there. This is what they use in recruiting. You go up to Alabama and you go in the room, and there's facilities up there. There are helmets everywhere of the NFL teams, the players' names. There's another place where they have the amount of money Alabama players have made, and this gets the attention of the parents, the recruits. It's something big. Georgia's doing this now. Everybody's kind of copying them now. But coming in at number 10 in the SEC, I had no idea this school had done this. Mississippi State Bulldogs.
So this is SEC only?
No, this is the country, the entire country, the 10 best. Number 10, Mississippi State.
Oh, wow.
Their players have brought in $603,216,633. Can you believe that from Mississippi State? I had no idea Mississippi State. They've had some good players come through there.
They have had some great players.
The problem, they don't have the numbers to come through there at all positions at one time. Number 9, a blue blood, and I do believe this one would be in here over the time, Notre Dame. They've had great football coaches there. They've had great players there. Their players have gone on and done some great things. They have made, when you combine their salaries, $628,332,540. Pretty good chunk of change right there from Notre Dame. Number 8's even better. Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma's had all the Heisman quarterbacks come out of there, make big-time money. Receivers from Oklahoma. You name it, Oklahoma across the boards have some great players come through there. They beat out Notre Dame. $632 million. $349,420.
I thought they'd be a little higher than that.
That's pretty. $632 million.
I know it's up there, but I just thought
good.
they'd be. It's just when I think of Oklahoma, there have been several great players.
Well, you got the history. If you're in the top 10, you've done something.
Oh yeah.
Number 7, and this is only going to climb and get better. This is one program to watch. This is going to go on and get better as long as Kirby Smart is the head coach at Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs coming in at number 7. They beat Oklahoma. They beat Notre Dame. Bulldogs, not $600 million, $707 million, $862,824. Incredible. Great job, Georgia. And Kirby has got this thing rolling. Number 6. I didn't think they'd be up there, but they are. Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, that surprises me a little bit. Even though I know they've had some great teams.
But with the history, you think.
Yeah, but over history.
Well, that's like Mississippi State.
I would have thought Oklahoma would have been ahead of them.
Yeah. 707 was for Georgia. Clemson beats them by, this is what Clemson's done, $720 million. $111,440, Clemson Tigers. Coming at number 5 from the great state of Texas. This kind of surprised me. Texas A&M, $741 million, $679,212.
That didn't surprise me, but I still would have thought Oklahoma would have been ahead of them.
I did too.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you. This one blew my mind until I looked at some of the players that came out.
Exactly.
I just wrote down one name, and there was other ones. Aaron Rodgers went to school there. Okay, that salary alone knocks you big time.
Yeah.
This is your top 4 highest earning colleges for as their alumni going out to play NFL. Cal.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers had a lot to do with this one. But
he
Chad,
made up $100 million of that.
Chad, this is probably. But Chad, this is crazy. $803 million. $601,330 from Cal.
Wow.
I never thought Cal would be in the top 10 until now you look at that.
They have had some great players, though.
Crazy. All right, here are your top 3 big time money makers. And look at their recruiting every single year. It's incredible. Number 3, Ohio State Buckeyes, not millions, $1 billion. $1 billion. $59,549,430. Can you believe that?
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, you got Bosa, Fields, Hayward, you name it. They knock it out of the ballpark. This one, I said before, in the gray state, they just get the best players in the state to stay there. They'll win a championship just about every year. Per capita, more people come out of there than any other place to play the NFL. And we're talking about LSU. LSU came in at number 2. You had Beckham, Peterson, Burrow. I mean, you think about the great players throughout the years coming through LSU. They made $1,080,132,559 from LSU. That's crazy, Chad.
It's a lot
That's
of money.
Crazy. If you go in there and you look at that, and you're a mother, father, and you love your son, you know he's going to play in the NFL if he stays healthy. Where am I going to take him? I look at that board at LSU and I see $1 billion up there.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
happy
go.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's like, and they're all going. These schools we're talking about, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, they're all going to visit the same schools. Okay, I visit Ohio State. I see it up there. Their players make $1 billion. LSU players make $1 billion. Georgia players only make $707 million. Do I go to Ohio State and make that big money? Or, well, Kirby's going to have it rolling. Do I stay with Kirby? Or do I go to the number 1 maker, developer, football factory of the world? Do I go to this school?
Michigan?
Wrong. Alabama Crimson Tide. Do you know how much money they've made? Do you have any clue? Am I going to go to LSU where they made
Whatever
$1
happened
billion
to education in college?
$1,080 million, okay? No, I'm going to Bama. $1 billion. Listen to this. Alabama. $1,121,834,250 big bucks.
I wonder if somebody could do this, John, like you said, based on degrees. People with a degree from that university, if somebody could calculate that up, it's not as easy to do, obviously.
Wait. But you talking about all of the alumni?
Yeah. That'd be a tough thing to calculate.
Harvard, Yale. Where'd you go to school, Chad? Probably wherever you, Chad, went to school.
I went to Columbus State University for undergrad, but I went to the University of Alabama School of Medicine in Birmingham.
There you go.
They changed the name in 2006 after I'd long been gone.
I'll tell you what.
When I was UAB School of Medicine, but it was University of Alabama School of Medicine back when I went.
But you go back to recruiting. This all plays in. This is just part of what everybody does.
Oh yeah.
They sell this, and I don't think anybody does a better job of selling today.
To sell,
Kirby Smart at Georgia knows how to sell this program. Nick knows how to do it at Alabama. Great job by Daniel Bush there. Alabama has 83 active NFL players on the roster, more than anybody else. So this is, again, your top 10. I can't believe it, Mississippi State. Number 9 was Notre Dame. Number 8 is Oklahoma. Number 7 is Georgia. 6 Clemson. 5 Texas A&M. 4 Cal, which I never would believe they were in the top 10. 3 Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2 LSU. Number 1 Alabama. What team was not mentioned in this? What team was?
It got mentioned, but it's not in there. Michigan.
Yeah. Where is Michigan? They can't recruit. Harbaugh's just over coaches. He does a great job coaching. They've been in the playoffs 2 years in a row.
The Daggers are going deep.
Michigan's having a hard enough time getting clean water. What do you expect?
Did this surprise you at all?
It does surprise me that Michigan's not in there somewhere. I would have thought. I'd be curious if they're in the top 15.
I did. I thought Michigan definitely would be in there. I really did. I was kind of surprised at this. I got some other things. Ohio State. Well, let me go with this right now.
I mean, when you think of it, Tom Brady. He was a Michigan quarterback.
But he was a 9th-round draft pick.
He was.
But he made a lot of money after that.
And listen, and if you'd have asked me back then, I would have thought, he's not going to do anything.
Chad, I was at his last game. We were in the end zone. We were sitting with our Alabama stuff on behind the Michigan band, the Orange Bowl. Alabama, Jared, Jamie, Julie and I, and Billy Brooks and his wife, we all had Alabama stuff on. We're by the Michigan band. They treated us great. They were great, by the way. But I watched this. I said, who is this quarterback? I had no idea he was this good.
Right.
We couldn't stop him. Brady kept coming back and back and back.
Yeah.
He could throw the football.
But it was like his best game of the entire season.
Yeah,
he wasn't that great, I didn't think. To me, he was a little above average.
He looked skinny.
Yeah, and then look at what he did. There's no question he's the greatest of all time of NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah. We got to give Michigan credit. They had one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want the latest Heisman odds. Wait a minute. Okay, I gotta take a break. Let's take a break real quick. We come back and finish up with Chad Mitchell on Monday. We did pretty good for a Monday. Monday's usually our day we can't speak, talk, do much, but we do it. Chad, I'm talking to you. We did pretty good. Respond there. We did pretty good, right?
Yes, we did good.
We did good. Now, we didn't even do better. We had Michael's Health and Solution. All I got to do is call him. Michael's Health Solution. Look it up. Call him, email him, whatever you want to do. They take care of your Medicare Advantage plans. They got individual and family and group health insurance. Michael Denison does an incredible job, and you can listen to him right here on ESPN Thursday mornings, and he can coach you up. I tell you what, we had so many different people we looked at. He came to the house. He answered all my questions. He stayed there about 2 hours because I wanted to know everything, and I got what I feel like is the best deal and what's best that suits me. Julie, my wife, is going to go with him. The guy is great, and I met him from this guy, a very successful businessman, told me about him, and that's who he went with, and that's who I went with. Michael's Insurance Solution. Guy does a great job. Again, you want that field look like Pat Dye's, you want your yard to look like that, Pat Dye's field at Auburn, Turf Pro Pest Control. They do a great job. If you have any problems with insects eating grass up, just doesn't look right, Turf Pro can take care of all your needs. They do a great job. Patrick and his crew does a great job. Turf Pro Pest Control is number one. Not even close. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. You got 3 restaurants in one. The bakery's incredible. The pizza's unbelievable. But I tell you what, try the Napoleon. try the Paradise Cake. And also the deli. Everything's packaged really nice. You can take it on your boat. You can take it to the beach. Or you can eat right there at Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive in Panama City Beach. We'll be right back. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 49% rate, the U.S. economy is booming for
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a high near 84 and a wind between 8 to 12 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 74. About the same tomorrow, around 82 with some sun most of the day aside from possible thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Broadcasting live from the J. Michaels Studios.
The best part of waking up is
The Coach James Hale Show. Powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thank you guys so much for listening this morning. Appreciate you. Leave it here all day long. Got great shows. But I like the local stuff, man. I like when Ryan Mulvey's in here from 11 to 1. David, the Underdogs, also do a great job every single day, 4 to 6. And if you like Farmbomb, you can listen to it at night. But leave it right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All these people coming down here, you know, soccer tournaments going on, baseball, softball, you name it, swimming. They all sports people. They listen to ESPN wherever they go. When I travel, I want to know what's going on. I'm going to listen to ESPN. They hear all your commercials. They go visit your places. This is a great place to advertise right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Just like Dr. Chad Mitchell does. Has been taking care of Bay County athletes for, golly, going on 24 years. Chad, you've seen a lot of things happen, a lot of bad injuries, a lot of different things. The key for me, when I had an injured player, I got him to you, and you wanted them back completely healed up, ready to go. And all the college coaches, they want the kids back as quickly as possible, but ready to go. And you keep talking about this new procedure you guys are going to. The old ways, you just cut and replace the knee, the old-fashioned way. You're into this robotic stuff. Talk about that, and why are you believing it so much?
Well, mainly it's going to help people with arthritis, and so we're not really talking athletes yet, but the technology, I see it. It's coming. It's going to come to the sports medicine area, and I think it's just a matter of like 4 or 5 years. I think you can be using robotics to accurately place an ACL, and, with all the artificial intelligence and all that everybody's talking about, those kind of things can be utilized when you've got a computer there helping you make a decision. One of the things that you can't really make out is how the tension would be on a graft, or tension, when you're balancing a total knee replacement and you're using the computer plus the robotics. it can give you a forecast, if you will. You can't do that. That's not humanly possible. Yes, you have a rough idea on how to do it, but in general, you just can't do that. The human eye is not as accurate. It's accurate, but it's not as accurate as the computer navigation and then the whole robotics cutting. And you can plan all these things before you ever even do anything on the body part that you're working on, like the knee, for instance. You can plan out, this implant or where to put this, graft, if you will. You can plan all that out and have an idea how that knee's going to balance before you ever do it.
And now we're talking about these elite athletes. It can be basketball, football, whatever. We're still football right now. When they go have this procedure, they've been through a terrible injury. They want to get back. They want their career, their livelihood, their family's livelihood. So they got to get back as quickly as possible, and it's got to be done correctly. So I guess you're seeing more of this with professional athletes probably than the general public. These type of robotic.
Well, they haven't, like I said, they haven't used the robots yet in sports medicine, but I see that in my mind, it's coming. I can tell you it's coming here in the next 5
the things you just pointed out, why are they not doing it now?
Well, it's being researched.
Are we being guinea pigs? The general public are guinea pigs?
I would love to take you two and put y'all on a table as guinea pigs.
Why does he look at me when he says that?
It'd be awesome. Of course, I'm kidding.
You raised your hand. That's why.
John's older than me. We could probably use him.
You talk more, though. I think we should use the talking guinea pig.
All right. So you think that's the coming of day, right?
Yeah, I think that's in our future for sure. I really do. I think it's coming. So.
All right. Now, this is the latest from the odds makers, the 2023 Heisman Trophy odds. Now, Bryce Young won it, and then he didn't win it the following year. That we've only had one player in the history of the Heisman to win it back-to-back. And that was Archie Griffin from the Ohio State Buckeyes, the great running back. Williams at USC. You know he's going to put up the big numbers.
He is. He's going to put
Riley's
the numbers
going to try his best to make him win it 2 years in a row. He's at plus 500. Bo Nix, now this is the latest now. Bo Nix is getting some love from Oregon. Auburn's Bo Nix was plus 1,200, not even close to Williams. FSU Travis was right there with him, 1,200. So you got Bo Nix from Oregon. You got FSU's Travis, both at plus 1,200. Then they got LSU, and I bring this up because that week 1, these two guys are going head-to-head. So one of them are going to get a big jump in the Heisman, and the other one's going to drop off. Head-to-head competition. One puts up big-time yardage, throwing the ball, run the ball, scores touchdown, his team wins. He's going to be up on the other one. It's going to be tougher to beat him out if they continue to perform at the same rate the entire year. After that, I think it's Notre Dame's quarterback and North Carolina's quarterback. They're both at 1,500. May's 1,500. And then it goes all the way down to Texas's quarterback, which is a really good football player, but he was like plus 2,000. But then again, Chad, it could be somebody we don't even know about.
Yeah, right. It could be a running back. It could be a breakout running back.
Maybe a receiver.
Yeah.
But it's usually a quarterback or running back and a receiver in that order. Do you think Southern Cal? I got a feeling he could do it a year. He might be the first one to do it since Archie.
Yeah.
We all thought it might be Bryce last year. He was coming back. Alabama's going to compete for the national. They lost the national championship.
Well, if he hadn't lost, I think he would have been. Yeah. I think just losing didn't help.
If he didn't get hurt against Arkansas.
Yeah.
He did bring him back against Texas. He gets hurt against Arkansas, doesn't play for a while. So he didn't have that elite game. Williams was real steady last year, did a good job. He gets it. And I guess sometimes I'm sure everything we do is political. So I guess certain parts of the region are going to vote for their guy. And you add them all up and get these points things, how they do it. So I got a feeling Williams might do it. But I tell you who I hope wins it. I hope the winner of the FSU-LSU game wins it. I kind of hope Travis wins it, to be honest with you. But I would not mind seeing LSU's quarterback Daniels win it. Either one of those two. And they play week 1.
Yeah, I mean, Travis has come a long way, and there is a possibility, although it's a little bit of a long shot. But, don't rule out some of these running backs that, we don't even really know about yet. There's some out there with some potential. So you have, especially like, you never know how Georgia's going to come out and what their backs are going to do. They've got some great running backs. Alabama's got some great running backs. I'm sure LSU's got a great, crew of running backs as well.
Georgia, heck, I'm hearing Georgia quarterback could be the real deal. I mean,
he might be.
Yeah.
So there's some. I'm sure there's some other players that would be in that mix.
Did you hear about the Oklahoma Masters? That someone got their master's degrees from Oklahoma?
Oh, man, who was that? It was Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Went crazy.
It took me a minute. I had to think about it.
He got his degree from Bama. He gets his master's from Oklahoma. Is there anything this guy can't do?
Now, listen, kudos to him, right? I mean, he's got 2 degrees, been to 2 different schools. He went to the Super Bowl, and I think if he hadn't have fumbled that ball in the Super Bowl, I think he would have won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Great player, great person. You can't help but root for him.
Everybody loves Jalen Hurts. The Oklahoma fans went crazy. Jalen Hurts, major accomplishment. He strong, fast, unbelievable football player. Freak in the weight room. You talking about lifting weights? His daddy was a high school coach.
Yeah, his legs are like super
in Alabama, Scott Cochran. That's it. You're not going to be higher. I mean, who knows what he really could have gotten?
Right. Yeah.
But he's got his master's degree in human resources from Oklahoma. Pretty good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's the second highest paid player. For 4 days, he was the highest paid football player in NFL history. That lasted for 4 days. But still, I guess I could live off $250 million.
Well, he's got 2 degrees to
fall back on
and use the money that he's already got.
But Chad, that type of money, if you invest it well, you could live off just the interest rate on that.
You could.
So I'm proud of him.
He's doing well for himself.
Great kid.
And congratulations to him.
Yeah, great job. All right, I want you, we only have about a minute, real quick. What's the best way to get with Dr. Chad Mitchell?
Call Orthopedic Associates, 850-785-4344. You can also look me up at chadmitchellmd.com. And also, if you've got arthritic knees and you're wondering about knee replacement, you can look up how a robotic knee replacement is done at robotmd.com. Again, that's robotmd.com.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Leave it right here. If you love local shows, I'll tell you what, we got a great lineup. Ryan Moby does a great job, 11 to 1. And then we got Big Dave and the Underdogs. He's always got a great crew in there. They're on 4 to 6. Fine Bombs from 6 to 10. Leave it right here all day long on ESPN Northwest Florida. We hope you have a wonderful day. And we will be back tomorrow. Ethan Boyd will be in here with us tomorrow. And maybe a surprise guest also. But give us a call anytime you want on 215-6290. We're out. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey troops, Coach Manley from the Coach James Hale Morning Show. Now you can take me with you everywhere you go with the new app from ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going everywhere together. Tyndall Credit Union drive-through window, hitting the links at the Sunny Hills Golf Course.